Hi, I'm Lisa. This is my floss tube, my very first floss tube. I wanted to put a warning out there right away. I'm in my bedroom and my door is literally right there. I live with both my sons, my daughter-in-law, and two of my grandchildren, and at any moment they could surprise me and you. So if you hear noises or someone does interrupt, you'll know why. I don't mind it. We all live together. It's pretty great to be together, but privacy tends to be a little less than maybe the norm. I don't mind it. A little bit about me. I live in Texas. I'm a cross stitcher since 1982. I've stitched just a little bit about everything. You know, the whole Precious Moments leaflets from Ben Franklin or Walmart or any of those little stores. I still can remember clearly the first time I saw a cross stitch store and went in, and my mind was blown. And it continues to be because of the progress and the materials and things like that we use, and our designers are so amazing. So cross stitch is really my love. I have taken on a few other crafty things, which I'll put in there, or I'll show you that what I'm working on, but I would never call myself a quilter or, you know, a wool applicator or any of those things. Cross stitch is my love. The other thing is I'm not quite sure how the lighting's going to be in this room and where this setup is. Also, you'll see the ring light on my glasses, but if I take my glasses off, I can't see. So I really need them, and you'll see the second pair just in case I need them. I think today what I wanted to do was just introduce myself. I know a lot of people from Instagram, some really amazing stitchers and really super kind people. I've met some really super kind stitchers and conversed with some, you know, as far as Australia. Hi, Dawn. And then, you know, here in my Texas community that I stitch at, I have a place that I go to once a month and meet up with a bunch of stitchers, and I've met a lot of people at retreats and things like that, and they're wonderful. They're wonderful people. I have a group of friends that I communicate with quite a bit, the Unstable Stitchers. And that's not an official name, but we call ourselves that, you know, so they're really sweet people. I have a little group of people that I met at Quilter Station in 2021 that I still communicate and exchange ornaments and things like that with every year. Wonderful ladies, just wonderful ladies. And then I have the boxcart girls that I talk to quite a bit, and then all the Instagram girls that I talk to. But I was encouraged to do this by my granddaughter, for one thing, and several other people, but probably strongly Katie, So Tattered, and a few other people. I'm not sure I'm like, what can I offer? Like, that's really the thing. But I'll be happy to show you my stitching. I love to talk stitching. I love to see everything. I love it all. You know, I don't care what you're stitching. I like hearing about it. I like seeing it. I'm inspired by it. I may not pick that up to stitch on for myself, but I love that you're doing that, and I love knowing about it, and I love hearing that history. I'm a little bit fidgety. I look off or whatever. Just ignore it. In real life, I'm partially deaf. I'm deaf in this ear, and it's really hard. And it was very obvious at the last retreat that I went to. And as long as you're okay with repeating yourself or saying, hey, you know, giving me signals to hear me, or for me to hear something that you're saying, then we're going to be good to go. And, you know, use my good ear. At any rate, I'm just going to show you some of the stitching that I've been working on currently. For years and years and years, I was a monogamous stitcher. Like, I would pick something up and I stitched that all the way through until it was done. And I became quite fast at doing that or whatever, even though I have to have a very taut canvas, and I have to be poke and stab, that kind of thing. I'm not an in-hand stitcher. I don't like the way the fabric drapes over my hand. It's just like a personal preference or whatever, but I like a taut surface, and I do poke and stab, but I'm fairly quick at it. Since meeting some of the cross stitchers that I've met probably over the last year and a half, I have gotten into the habit of starting projects and not finishing projects, or I'm not as monogamous as I was, but I still will pick up a project and stitch on it just completely. That's all I'll stitch on until it's done, because something about it is speaking to me, and I really, really enjoy it. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I've been working on currently, the unusual whips that I have because I've never had them in the past, a couple of things that I've done, and some inspiration from some other people, and then I'll get out of your hair. Let's start. So this is what I'm stitching on currently. Let's see if I can get a good tilt on it. And this is the rage lately. Everybody's been stitching on it, and I'm no different. I saw someone finish this, Pugs and Stitches, Andrea. I saw her finished version of this, the pillow, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And all the people that I see on Instagram stitching it or who have finished it, they're all beautiful. So I immediately pulled mine out and started working on it. Now, I have been sidetracked lately, so I haven't done as much stitching as I normally would do. But I stitch from the bottom left corner, and I started this today. So I worked my way up, and then I started this today. I'll bring the vine up over and then I'll move this and do the finish off the bird's wings and the top of it. This shouldn't take me very long if I don't get sidetracked with other things. It's done on 40 count legacy, and called 4 colors. I really love it. Now we're going to get into the things that I've been putting off. I started this recently, and there's a story behind this. This is the Birds of a Feather, Sally Spencer. Cynthia Brew from Stitching in the Light, I believe. She sent this to me because someone had sent it to her. That person stitched it, sent it to her, she stitched it, and then sent it to me. And then my goal is to stitch it and share it out to someone as well. I already have that person signed up and ready to go. I just need to do this, finish up the stitching. It's a beautiful chart. Now the colors are a little bit different, but once you start putting them on the fabric, they're gorgeous. I mean, they're beautiful. I can't tell you the fabric right now, but it is the called for threads, and I'll find out what the fabric is, and if anybody really needs to know, I'll tell you later. But I know that this is 36 count. That's my sweet spot, is 36 to 40. But I just love this vine. I can't wait to get back to this. In fact, this is probably what I'll pick up after I finish As the Crow Flies. The next thing I worked on was at a retreat, because it was Christmas in July. I did, and I call him Walter, but this is Brenda Gervais, and it's Snow Magical. And so I picked him up, and it's a kit that I bought from Farm Girl Dry Goods. I keep all my threads in bags. We have, that's just how silk, DMC, overdots, doesn't matter, they all go in threads. And then this is Walter. That's what I call him. I've come to call him. Walter is wearing a sweater that he was upset that his mom put in because he wanted to go play with his friends, so he's not done yet. I pretty much make up stories for almost all the cross stitch that I do. Like, I can tell you their names. I make them up as I go. Silly, maybe, but that's what I do for fun. But that's Walter. I can't wait to finish that. Maybe that's what I should pick up next, because it wouldn't take me very long to finish. If it could just get me out of all the other things that I'm doing. Okay, this is one that I was inspired to do by Olivia Pumpkin Hollow quilts and cross hatch quilts, and I know there's a few others. And it was a while ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I quickly bailed out of it. I don't want to say bailed. I am going to finish this project, but this border right here, I cannot come up with a rhythm for stitching it. And so it makes it slow going to stitch on it. The insides of this, bottom left starter, so I'm over here. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I probably would have put it on a different fabric if I chose today, but I'll stick with what I've got. This is Vintage Country Mocha. I believe it's either a 36 or a 40 count, but that's how much I have. I don't iron projects in the middle. I don't like messing with the fabric like that, so they only get their good ironing when they're done. But anyway, this is my Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, and it is a thread conversion by Quirks and Stitches Jen Lee, and she's very kind. I messaged her and she sent me the PDF with the conversion, and that's what I'm using. I haven't had to adjust any of them. She had said that I might still have to adjust some of them, but I haven't had to. I rarely do that. I usually trust the colors. I only do that if something's not showing up, or it's not quite the color that it was described to be, or doesn't look like the picture. Most of the time I'm very comfortable with leaving the threads the way they were designed. So the next thing, I went to StitchCon. These are my threads. I went to StitchCon and we started a project together, and that is the blue flower. I believe this is the Moonwalk. Yep, Night Walk Down. It's like that. It's really pretty, and I got a great piece of Gray Snow's fabric to put it on while I was there. And it's got these colors that I wouldn't normally stitch with, but they're gorgeous. And but like I said, I just kind of put it aside after I came back. There's my start on that. And this is a 36 count. It's beautiful. It's a Gray Snow's fabric. I don't think I have it written down, but I probably have the card in here somewhere. If you needed to know, I could tell you, but I know it's 36 count, and it's an awesome stitch. The fabric's fantastic. I just need to get after it. Put it back in a Q-snap and get after it. I will tell you that when I get hyper or nervous or whatever, I get red. You're making me nervous. I also had a birthday start this year that I did with Katie from So Tattered. She was real nice and did it with me, and I think a couple other people joined in, but it's kind of lost its steam, like, you know, like starts sometimes do. But this is Marianne Kopp, and I think it's gorgeous. And it is, it's gorgeous. I'm using the called for fabric on 36 count, the called for threads, even the clockwork. And I'll show you why. So there's my needle. So this is the clockwork right here. It looks just like brick. When you're stitching with it, it looks just like brick. Let's see if I can get some of these. Yeah, there you go. These flowers are gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. This whole thing is. And every time I look at this, I think, oh my gosh, why are you not stitching on this? And I can't tell you why. I don't know. I have that thing that now I'm totally comfortable with picking up and doing a new start and not finishing the project, which was my rule in the past. But all you young people have changed my thoughts on it. And so I was doing this with that birthday start for Marianne Kopp, and Katie just was doing that, was starting it with me, and she made me this bag. And it's the most beautiful bag. I mean, it's just the most gorgeous bag. It had a there's that. And you can tell that I haven't started all my threads yet because they haven't ended up in a bag yet. So I put them like this on bags, and then as I go, I bag them. So none of those have been used yet. That's why. But this bag is so pretty. Check that fabric out. So pretty. Katie's very talented. She's very, and a sweet, sweet person. But I use that bag. I don't want to misshape it or whatever. I use it to keep all the threads in for Marianne Kopp. I don't have lots of bags. This is from a maker called Needle and Bone. She's on Facebook. I believe it's Needle and Bone. If I can figure out how to do the drop down thing, I'll try to put it in there. But I get a bag a year. I love hers. Or at least I get a bag a year from her. And then once again, threads. And then there's this. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Rejoice and Evermore with Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Gorgeous chart. Her charts are wonderful anyway, but her designing is just amazing. And there's that. It's all done. I started in the bottom left corner, and it's all done all the way up to this point. The border goes all the way around. These are the called for threads, even that bright mustard color, and it doesn't bother me. It's really pretty. And then this is also the called for fabric, so there's no deviations from what the pattern or the chart says for this stitch. And I love it. It's another one that I just need to get on top of and finish it because it's so pretty. I have to do this on the go because my room is small. You can imagine what that looks like in here. Okay, this is my oldest whip. It's Moira Blackburn. The Three Things, I believe. Yeah, Three Things. At any rate, I really love this. And I've been stitching on it a long time. Now, one of the things is I don't like this fabric. I wouldn't choose this fabric again. But it's not bad fabric. I would, I'm definitely going to finish it on this. It's a 36 count something. And it's one of the rare few things that about 20 years ago I said that I could take a break on. And then this is why I was always monogamous. If I took a break, I felt like I wouldn't ever come back to it. And that's what I was scared of. But now I'm not so scared of that. I really do want to finish this. It's beautiful. And at some point, I will. It's all the called for threads. I have no idea what the fabric is. I just know it's 36 count. I bought it so long ago. Love, 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 love. I bought this as a kit from Country Sampler, I believe. This is Blackbird Designs. Lydia. We'll just skip that last name. You can read that. Being nervous, you forget how to pronounce things. Anyway, this is the start on that. And the border is all the way around. It goes, I do usually do the border first. This is all the way around, and then I started it. This red on here is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Called for colors. The fabric is, I believe, called for as well, or whatever I got from when they kitted it up. It was from the Country Sampler, so it arrived as a beautiful kit that they do. I went through a phase where I was trying to get rid of all of the fabrics that I had laying around that I might not use. And I think that was a mistake because I did start this on a 36 count fabric, and it has Cos Rise Stitchery, I believe. Yep, Cosford Rise Stitchery. I have stitched this one, and I'm waiting to stitch that one. The only reason I haven't done it is because I'm not as wild about the fabric, but I will do it. I don't hate the fabric that much, but I had already stitched the first one on that fabric, so I'll stitch the second one on it too. But there is the finish for that, and it's so calm and pretty. I loved every stitch of that. I do everything one thread over one, even if I'm stitching on some 30s and 32 counts. It's all one thread. I don't have a problem with two threads. Sometimes I'll pull out a 28 count piece of something and stitch an ornament or something. But one, I like the way the thread lays, and two, it costs less. So you can make your thread go a long way if you're stitching with one thread. But hey, I'm not opposed to stitching on two. I mean, you know, you never know with vision later on in life. I might say, hey, I can only stitch on 28 count and pick it up again. But I would probably try to do a really tight weave, something like Picture This Plus, so that I could get away with as much as I could with one thread. And cost is a bonus for it. Well, I started this with my friend Katie. This is Ann Dale. She's a thick one. This is totally 100% inspired by Kindred Stitcher. I watched her journey with that through Instagram and her Flosstube, and it's gorgeous. I had the opportunity to meet her at the Quilter Station, the first retreat they did in 2021, and I went to her and said, hey, I just want to tell you I love that so much. And she goes, do you want to see it? And I thought, do I want to see it? Anyway, she went and got it and brought it out. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's on this beautiful, I think she said it was patina by Lakeside, and of course I've searched high and low and I can't find that, but so I started it on a number 12 Stitch Co fabric that's called Peppermint Ice. And there you go. It's 36 count. No, 40. I think this is 40 count. And I've made a little change in here with the leaves, I think, on the flower or here. I'm not sure. This border right here, love. I could do that all day. Love, 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 love. Because this thing is so big and there's so much fabric that I usually start in the bottom left corner. So I went ahead and did the whole thickness of it instead of trying to just go all the way around with this and all the way around with this. I thought with that much stitching I might get a little bit lost or get off track, and this might help me keep that from happening. At any rate, it's gorgeous. I can already tell you that I'm going to have a little bit of all DMCs. I'm going to have a little bit of a challenge with some of the colors because they're very bland or neutral, and some of them just flat don't even show up. But I think I'm just going to stitch as I go and work it that way. So whatever I do, I'll pick from the fabrics that are already in the DMC. I'll pick the threads that are already in the DMC list and just sub out and see how it works out. I can't wait to get to some of those inner motifs. They're just so pretty. And every time I think about Andale, I think about Kindred Stitcher's absolutely gorgeous finish on that. And if you don't watch her videos, you should go look her up on Flosstube, Kindred Stitcher. And I think there's even one of them that her picture on the front of the video is her holding up Andale. Or go to her Instagram, which is Kindred Stitcher, and take a look at it there. It's absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. I had the opportunity to meet Annie B and her two daughters, Chelsea and Belle. They are one hilarious. I don't think I've laughed that hard with two people in a long time. And sweet, kind, wonderful, nice people. I just loved them. And this, when she did this, the Channing Street Annie B's folk art, I just fell in love with that thing. And started it. Let's see if I can find where it begins and ends. And well, that you can see that border goes all the way up and around. But then there's this, and I'm just now filling in the grass. So the whole bottom part is filled in. It's all filled in. And so once I do that, I'm gonna get to my favorite part, which is the trees and the house. I love houses. I love alphabets, houses, and trees. The next one, Plum Street samplers. God Bless America. I know everybody's seen that. This is gorgeous. I'm doing it on 36 count. No. I'm doing it on a 40 count toasted coconut, I believe. A friend gifted this to me. I believe it's Grace Notes. Anyway, I started that. I love it. Love, 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 love. I couldn't wait to stitch the word God. So unusual for me, I went ahead and did that instead of extending and going up on the borders and all that. So I did that, but that's the exception typically for me. I love this. Gosh, now I want to start all of them, right? And that's it. I believe those are my whips. Called for threads on the God Bless America. Okay. One of the things that, oh my goodness, let me look here. One of the things, so much stuff laying around. One of the things that I've been working on is a little bit of quilting. So there's this. And then this is a stitching mat for when I go on retreats or stitch days. And then I added a pocket that I will applique. And I just am smitten with that thing. I think this is, I can't remember the name of the fabric, but on the back of it, okay, I'm not a quilter, so I put together this front, which is a small miracle in the first place. And then I don't do binding, or I haven't learned how to do binding or whatever, so I thought I'll do this like you would do a pillow. You know, you sew it up, cut the back, turn it inside out. Well, I did that. And of course, I don't like that big seam on the back of it. So I made up some trees and wool, and I did that. I stitched around them and covered up that big seam. And now I'm in love with my trees. I also did a fall one. And I learned a few lessons on the fall one and applied those to this. So this is my fall one. I added a little ruler tape, and I added a pocket on this one too with a patchwork. And then on the back, to cover up that seam, I put acorns. And I still got to stitch that down, but that's the other thing, is I have a bunch of stitching that I need to do. Let me just dig them out. Well, they just may have to go next time. Oh, here they are. Sorry. I think on October 1st, I fell in love with this chart the second I saw it. And oh, you'll have to ignore that light that's coming through. I saw this and decided that I really needed to do it. So Katie and I are going to start this on October 1st. She's got the called for fabric. I don't know if I'll do that. We'll see. But at any rate, she's got the called for fabric that she's going to do this on. And I'm still in the process of picking that out, figuring out what I'm going to, you know, what I want to do. But I'm in love with that owl. Like, everything about this is so vintage. I'm in love with it. And it's Little Robin's Designs, Hallows Eve greetings. And I just love this. Cannot wait to start on October 1st. So I got turned on to doing wool applique by, the first person I saw doing that was Michelle Rudy from Farm Girl Dry Goods, and she's just an inspiration. And so I started buying some wool and some wool kits and stuff, and this was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. At any rate, I'd never done any of it, and then I saw that other people doing it, that kind of thing, and then I saw up close some of the stuff that Katie's done, and I decided that, well, you know, with encouragement, like tons of encouragement from the people around me, and especially Katie, that you can do that, you can do that. And so now that is my mantra. So I did do some, I did 3 little pillows, and that was a kit that I got from Farm Girl Dry Goods. I believe she still has this kit. It's super simple. If you've never done any wool applique, this is the one. It's super simple. It's got it's kitted, and it's got everything in it for 5 pillows. I did 3. Super instructions, great fabrics, all that stuff. This is something else that I picked up from Buttermilk Basin. And I put all that together. Still have to do the stitching on it, but super easy to do. And then I did this little guy, and I'm going to stitch that probably this coming week during the night after work. And then I also have this little guy that I need to do this stitching on, but this came from a book called Jingle All the Way. And I just love it. This wool is so, I mean, your needle just slides through that. I just completely have fallen in love with wool. And while I don't have a lot of bags, the next time I come on, or the next video, if I do a next video, I hope to do one once a month, but the next one that I do, I'll show you some of the things that I have finished, like stitching wise, and maybe some FFOs and stuff like that. But if you check out my Instagram, it's ElleSnaps. Elle is for my first name, Lisa, and Snaps because I take pictures. And I had a business a long time ago where I did a lot of photography, and I was ElleSnaps and took pictures of lots of little kids with that name. So I just never changed my Instagram name, and that is what it is. I have everything. I post all my stuff on there. Whatever it is, I post it on there. This bag was a bag from So Southern. No. Pretty Southern. Anyway, and one of the rare few bags that I've bought. This awesome bag was made by Cindy, Quirks and Stitches, Jen Lee's mother. Her name is Cindy, and she contacted me and sent me this bag. And she sent me a couple of bags, several. When I come across them each time, I'll show them to you. They're awesome. Very kind lady, super nice, and prolific stitcher. Also, she frames, and she is awesome, like just awesome. I believe her Instagram name is LEESCIN. Anyway, I've always tried, not always, but you know, I've wanted to get a crosshatch quilts bag. Christy, one of her bags, forever. And I'm usually working, and I can't get there on, you know, can't get to the Instagram on time, or I miss the deadline, or whatever it is, and I never managed to make it. Well, this last time I set alarms and made notes, and I did all the things that you're supposed to do, and I did it. I managed to snag one of her bags, and it's beautiful. It's just like what she shows. It's like, it's a gorgeous bag. I keep future projects in it, things that I might just pick up and decide that I'm going to start in there. I have so much more. I've got, people have what they call under the bed box or whatever. I don't call it that, or the box of shame. I have a tub, and it's literally full of finishes of like just stitching. I've stitched, put down, and in the early years of my stitching, I gave everything away. I gave it all away. I would stitch it in the with the idea that this is a gift for someone, and I didn't start stitching for myself or keeping things until probably around 2005. So all of that is, if I didn't do something with it or gift it out, I kept it, and it's in what I call the tub of treasure. And it truly is a treasure. Like, I go through it like it's treasure. It's all precious, and someday I'm going to do something with them. And if you're following my Instagram, then you know that I've been going through it slowly and finishing and making pillows and doing all those things. And it's a real kick. I'm having fun knowing that these things are going to get, you know, finished out and taken care of, possibly gifted out, or, you know, kept. Someone's trying to get in. No. She broke through the barrier. She's in here. At any rate, I will bring things and show like that. I'll show my tub of treasure. I'll show you my finished pillows. I'll show you my finished projects. I'll show you my framed things. I'll show you all that stuff, but it'll be a process, because we'll see how quickly I can make another video and get that stuff done. Also, making my videos in my room, you know, for privacy is kind of hard, because this area right here is a giant window, and I'm gonna have to adjust the timeline and things like that for that. I hope it hasn't been too annoying. I mean, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I would love to talk to you. I could talk stitching and all of it forever. Like, just, I love to hear about it, know about it, all that. So thank you for letting me talk. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being there with me. You guys have a good day. Happy stitching, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.